Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Zwift Fitness Journey. Today, I'm back to square one. I'm right back to I'm happy to be here kind of mode. So, here's the deal. Here's what we're going to do for today. It's another fairly short ride. Just going through the motions, doing the thing. Really don't want to ride very hard anyway, because under the current time constraints that I'm not recording on my normal day, because my normal day I'm going to be driving the whole day, from very early in the morning till late at night, and no time to record then. But the day before, Sunday this time, I'm recording. Sunday is a soccer day for me, and I actually have a double header in a couple hours, so I really don't want to put too much strain on my legs when I'm about to go play a double header when I already played a game last night as well. So 3 games in a couple days, and with all the fatigue I'm carrying, it's not a good time to really be doing much. But with that, anyway, life update. So I've mentioned in a couple of posts or a couple replying to comments on the channel of late, and if you haven't noticed, I've definitely produced fewer videos these last couple of weeks anyway, than what I would normally do. And I'm not looking for sympathy, anything like that. I just feel like I haven't been around in the way that I would normally be around. And I think you deserve an explanation, and nothing more than that. And I'll be frank with you, I just don't have time right now to sit down and plan out, strategize, and get into what I'm gonna do. I think I can briefly talk about the Giro, and I almost got it spot on. Most of my predictions were exactly where I thought they would be. Most of the riders did exactly what I thought they would. And very few differences. People that I thought were going to get jerseys got the jerseys, so on and so forth. But anyway, was an interesting one to watch. Ineos looked so strong, both getting first and third place. Jumbo Visma, the riders that were there, not that it was their strongest, but these are key support riders for those strongest riders overall, and they didn't look good at all. I mean, they were quite weak. If you saw my rider ratings for PCM 21 video, you know that my chief complaint was Nairo Quintana, and Quintana showed exactly what I was talking about in the Dauphiné, especially over the final couple days after I made that video. Today, with that one just finishing up, he finished in 18th and well off the pace, and he's there with pure climbers getting spanked. He's there with weaker, younger, inexperienced climbers who don't have a reputation for developing as climbers, but they certainly haven't earned a reputation as actually having much quality at this point, and they were beating him handily. Padun was impressive, back-to-back stage wins, but a lot of the riders, I don't know, I feel like right now anyway, yeah, I guess I got to take this with a great assault of that I haven't had much going my way for a little bit, and I feel like I'm growing in confidence in my read of riders in the peloton, in the pro peloton. I seem to know who's who right now in a pretty substantial way. We'll see if that is long term, short term. I've gotten lucky, but so far this season I've been very accurate in most of my predictions. Anyway, back to the life update. I said no sympathy needed, just here's what I've been up to. And I'm going to date back a little bit further here. So, as you know, how long has it been now? 6 weeks? Has it been this long? Holy cow. Roughly 6 weeks ago, our employee for the daycare moved, and it left us shorthanded. We only have a single employee, so it was down to just my wife and I, and she's full-time with kids, which is great, but she can't do it alone. We have too many. We're beyond that number, beyond that scope, so I had to start putting time in the daycare. We found an employee, but it was a 2-week gap from where we lost our previous one and the new one started. And so during those 2 weeks, I was at least half-time in the daycare. And so I started getting behind on my work. At the same time, literally the first day at the start of that 2-week period, the track season, the first coaching season I've had since COVID hit, began. So all of a sudden I'm doing daily track coaching duties and then also helping out in the daycare. And so the work just started piling up and I started getting behind. Also, on top of all of that, tax season going on at the same time, both the quarterly and yearly stuff. So I was just overwhelmed, ton of work happening, going on. And I got to the point where, as you saw on here, that I started to miss a little bit in terms of producing videos, but mostly was on schedule. The videos were getting shorter, the rides were getting shorter, and my legs and my body were getting very, very fatigued. Ooh, hello. Cut across the grass there. There's a big rock. I don't know how he didn't go flying. Anyway. I think I baked this right-hander here instead of continue it up the KOM. See if that's the case. Nope, no turn. What? Or is the right-hander the one that's up? I know I've been through here before, but that was already a good chunk of the climbing we need to do for this entire route. And then a new employee started. Had to get her trained, and so that was taking time. So it wasn't just playing catch up at that point. And then after just a week, prearranged, yes, authorized, yes, we needed somebody. She was that somebody. We had to deal with the consequences of saying yes to this, but she went to a wedding, was gone for the next 6 work days, so just over a week. So it was right back to square one for me, in that I had another busy week of working, better than part-time within the daycare, half-time anyway, and not being caught up on the work. So then she returned, and I started to get caught up, and it was beautiful. I was about a week into catching up, so meaning, 4 weeks since our employee had left. And then I was getting optimistic, and I think the last video I had here on Zwift showcased that optimism. It's been almost 2 weeks. Crap, it's been 2 weeks. I was getting close. I wasn't caught up, but I was getting close to being caught up. I wasn't yet recovered and rested, but I was getting closer to recovered and rested, and I could smell it. I could taste it. It was right there. Life was just about to get back to normal. And then I got a call. I was actually just about to record Zwift. I was doing my initial setup, and I got a call. My mom was in the ER, had been taken by ambulance, and was having some medical problems, and it was not good. And to make matters worse, my dad, part of the busyness of the previous few weeks and not being able to properly catch up, especially when weekends come along, and I should be able to get a fair amount of work done if need be. Normally I try to take weekends off outside of posting and editing content, But recording and business stuff outside of this shopping, I try to keep things to the week so that there's some free time. Usually Saturdays I try to have one day off every week and then kind of get through those things that I need to do Sunday and get on with it. Well, anyway, mother, ambulance, 2.5 hours away. And my dad, just a few weeks ago, full knee replacement surgery. So we'd already spent a couple weekends out there helping take care of him so my mom could have a break and be capable of taking care of him, icing every 2 hours and assisting with food and cleaning and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, he was incapable. He couldn't drive. He couldn't carry her. So, you know, she was taken by ambulance and the early diagnosis was worrying. So I had to hop in the car and drive 2.5 hours, get there to be with her and with him. My aunt luckily was able to help out in the first couple of days, and we were able to get everyone squared away, taken care of. In the immediate sense, my mom was transferred to a bigger hospital in town, and we got my dad taken care of at my aunt's house for a night, and I was able to go home for a few hours, get a little bit of work done. That's where those kind of first notices of like life's happened, gotta deal with it, I'll see you when I see it. And then my wife and I spent the whole holiday weekend, so the 3-day weekend plus the extra night on top of it, at the coast. Got my mom from the hospital when she was released. Not doing well, by the way, but you know, stable enough to go home. Hospital rooms are at a premium these days with COVID, and they want to send you out as soon as they can. So got her out of the hospital, and my dad got them both back home. Took care of the both of them all weekend long, and took my computer with me, and got what work done I could, when I could, how I could. None of my Zwift stuff was with me, and that's why I haven't seen you 2 weeks on here, but you know, I functioned. I survived. I got on with it. She survived, most importantly. And we were getting ready to come back. We were actually starting to pack up when it happened again with my mom. And this time, because I was there, because my wife was there, we were able to catch it early enough, get my mom in the car, and instead of having to call an ambulance and have 4 firemen load her up, I was able to handle it myself and got her back to the ER, and we were right back to square one. And so after figuring out what was going on and what could be done, and that my dad still needed help, and that my mom was going to stay in the hospital for a couple more days, this time, no doubt about it, no going home for now. And so we had a business to run, and it was going to be a new week the next morning coming out of that holiday weekend. So drove home late into the night, did what we had to do for the business, shopping and everything on the way home. Got home, slept in the bed, got up early in the morning and had to head right back out. Luckily I had my dad set up for the night, and he was okay for one night. Got there, went right back into taking care of him, and then had to stay around for days. My mom eventually got out of the hospital, had to take care of the both of them, got them squared away, got shopping done, got them to appointments, and then it was no appointments all weekend, nothing till Monday, so I headed out. Been home for a few days, done a lot of catching up in these last few days, getting things done, alive in one piece, just. But tomorrow we start all over again. New week. 4 things scheduled in the coming 7 days. So I gotta drive 2.5 hours to their house, pick my dad up, drive 2.5 hours to a place that's less than 10 minutes from my house, and then turn right around and drive them home, stay the night, Tuesday, rinse and repeat, do the same thing, but from their house, so one fewer trip, and then the added trip at the end of the day to come home. So 3 2.5 hour trips. Then Thursday, gotta rinse and repeat, take care of my mom for that day, for her appointment, again with the 2.5 hours. Saturday, nephew's graduation here in town. And thanks to COVID, I'm not even invited, no tickets, family limit. So I gotta drive all the way to the coast to pick up my mom and dad to take them as the last tickets available to the graduation. And then I don't even get to attend. And that's sad that I gotta drive 5 hours to not go to the graduation. That one kind of bugs me. But it is what it is. And I gotta be there. It's family. So, here's the thing. Again, I don't need your sympathy, okay? That's not what I'm here for. It's not what I'm telling you. Just letting you know that life has hit, and life has hit hard. Like I said, my mom's not okay, so her situation, she's stable for the moment, but it doesn't mean she'll be stable tomorrow or the next day. And there's a lot of worry going forward. Well, for me, I gotta just keep plugging away. I gotta do what I can do when I can do it. And that's gonna be that. That's all I can do. That's all I can manage. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the top here and I'm gonna call it good. ATA is any moment here to the top. So I don't quite know where the line is, but I'm definitely not far away, 500 meters. So I'll get there and we'll call it good. We'll call it a day. Like I said, I gotta go play a doubleheader for soccer and I gotta get on with it. I don't know how many episodes I'll be able to record this week, but I'll do it. But I'll tell you this, okay? Karma is a thing. Man, oh man, and I do some good karma. So, funny thing about the channel. I've had 4 times in 3 years since starting the channel where life has happened. This lengthy 6-week period has been the hardest of those. But I've been sick a couple times, and 3 of the 4 times that I've had challenges, difficulties. Let's push. Come on, 450 meters. 3 of those 4 times. So 75% of the times where life has interfered and made things really difficult for me, for the channel, has happened during the worst possible time for it to happen. Okay, as I'm sure you know, Pro Cycling Manager is the main part of the channel for me. And the release of Pro Cycling Manager is the biggest time for growth that I see every year. But there's a second time that's also big. And that second, the second is when the Tour de France happens. And 3 of those 4 occasions where things have gotten difficult has been during one of those 2 periods, which that accounts for 10% of the year. So 75% of my bad things have happened during a period that covers 10% of the year. That's incredibly unlucky, and that's, if anything, what I could use a little sympathy for is I'm due some good karma. I'm due something good happening. Okay, things are flattening out. We're gonna hit that line here in just a moment. I'm actually still feeling pretty good, so it's good. I would be able to carry on. Wow, look at this tree we're gonna ride through. Giant redwood. Oh. Well, I don't know if that's a proper redwood, but it's supposed to be. Here we go. There's the finish line. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. I will be back. I will continue. We'll be okay. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Be sure to hit that like button. Max up, fast cup. Max, mask, those things. Bye for now.